Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Unique Thinker. Not really thinking uniquely right now, but just reading some good, fantastic articles, and I'm getting better at it as time goes. Please bear with me. The last article, I was a little slow on it. This time, I'm going to try to be a little bit more faster. So, you're probably already reading in the title, but here it is. You will learn something if you stay tuned to this article. This comes from an Ebony magazine. The Ebony magazine is from May 1989, and this says New Jersey's first black congressman. Whoa, big stuff, big stuff, big stuff. So here we go. On this third attempt, former Newark City councilman wins a seat in Washington, by Michael Cheers. All right, here we go. I'm going to try to speed read on this one. Pray with me, folks. Pray with me. Saying, can I get a prayer in the house? Amen. All right, here we go. Donald Payne is a study in a person persistence. Twice the Newark, New Jersey City Council men tried to unseat the popular incumbent Democratic U.S. Representative Peter Rodino. Twice he failed. But after the aging Rodino decided again, seeking a 20th term, Payne tried again. He staved off the strong opposition in the primary, then breezed to a nearly 80,000 vote victory in the general election. In January, the 54-year-old son of a dock worker was sworn in as the first black congressman from the Garden State. This means so many things to me, beams Payne, a former school teacher in the New Jersey public school systems. It means a dream fulfilled. It means you've got to be persistent. You've got to be qualified. It means pride. It means thinking about Dr. Martin Luther King and Medgar Evers. It means New Jersey has taken its rightful place with other areas of this country that have finally put a member of its own race in Congress. A 1957 graduate of Seton Hall University, Payne taught English for 7 years, then went to work for Prudential Life Insurance Company as an executive during the 1960s. He also began serving as a volunteer with the YMCA, and although his wife died of cancer at the age of 29, leaving him with 2 preschool children, he managed to juggle his rental and career responsibilities. He quickly rose through the ranks of the YMCA and in 1970 was elected the first black president of YMCAs of the USA. In that role, he traveled to some 80 countries. In 1970, Payne also elected chairman of Newark's Southward Democratic Organization, a post he would hold for 18 years. In 1972, he was elected to the Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders and served in that capacity until 1978. In 1982, the tireless campaigner was elected to Newark Municipal Council, to which he won re-election in 1986. Payne, a self-described workaholic, an avid reader and American history buff, says he never became disillusioned or embittered by his early defeats to Rodino, a longtime liberal and champion of civil rights. Instead, he says he chartered a calculated course that he believed would eventually lead to victory. I knew that one day the drummer and the drum beat would get into the same cadence. He reminisces. I kept my eye on the overall object and I finally made it. The freshman congressman, who says he dates occasionally, worked long and hard to make the move to this new position in Washington's a smooth one. The 21 staffer who helped him run his office are a diversified team of blacks and whites, experienced Capitol Hill personnel, including some of those from Rodino's staff, mixed in with his aides from New Jersey. Last October, the 100th Congress passed more legislation than it ever did during any comparable period of time, says Payne, a civil rights activist whose political heroes include former mayors Carl Stokes and Cleveland Kennedy Gibson of Newark and Richard Hatcher of Gary. Two of the pieces of legislation that I have the most interest in are the catastrophic health bill and the drug bill. What I intend to do is have a clear analysis of these bills in order to interpret those two pieces of legislation to the state, county, and local people in New Jersey. Payne also says he hopes the new Bush administration and Democratic-controlled House of Representatives and Senate can quickly begin tackling not only the major problems such as reducing the $155 billion federal budget deficit and trimming the $125 billion trade deficit, but also focus on some of the concerns facing a nation's cities. Whew! Somebody clap their hands for me for reading that in only 5 minutes or 6 minutes and some change. I tried to do it without stuttering, but I hope that enlightened you on, especially those that are trying to seek office in the political positions. I hope that that was some enlightening information for you, to the black people that are trying to seek some political positions. I'm going to read a little bit more. This is, there's nothing new under the sun, and what one person did, you'll be able to do as well. I'm going to read a little bit more. It has a little bit of captions underneath these pictures. Payne meets with Willie Brown, minority leader of the New Jersey State Assembly, a civil rights activist since his youth. Payne worked with the NAACP Youth Chapter while student at Seton Hall. The movement has always been a part of me, he says. Below, he is joined by his son, Donald Jr., 30, and his daughter, Wanda, 28. His son is a co-owner of a retail clothing business, and Wanda is a kindergarten teacher. The children hadn't begun to attend when their mother died of cancer at age 28. Payne's successful campaign was managed by his brother, William Newark, a consultant. So, yeah, you can chew on some of that information. Sometimes I read things and it's hard to digest it while reading. That's the way my brain comprehends, unfortunately. But hopefully I could get better at that when I'm reading out loud to you, the spectator. So, but anyway, on a good note, this book is, again, this is an Ebony magazine from 1989, the New Jersey first black congressman, and what a great victory, 80,000 vote victory over someone that was been running for all, well, I think it said that he was Peter Rodino, serving his 20th term, and he finally got in. So to those that wait upon the Lord and be of good courage, he will renew your strength. He will mount you up as wings of eagles. You will run and not be weary. You will walk and not faint. So it is good to be in politics, even though political positions do seem to be, in my opinion, corrupt. If you were in that political position and worked hard to get there, you can do what you would want to do to try to uncorrupt that position. And, we are very quick to judge in this time of internet, where everyone is under the microscope and super light of the camera phone. And we don't look so peachy cream on magazines anymore like we used to. However, despite all of that, um, we still can accomplish many things if we put our minds and hearts to it, and also follow the successful stories of those that have already come before us and done so. It's always good to focus, like he said, like this guy, this first black congressman said. He said it took persistence. I do believe that if you're persistent at anything, if you have the right goals, if you have a goal, short-term goal and long-term goals, and also you are persistent at what you're doing, that you can achieve anything. And what do you do after you made that achievement? That's where your principles, your morals, your beliefs, all of that. Sometimes it'll even be tested. People may try to sell you anything. They'll try to sell your soul because you work so hard to get. They'll try to purchase your soul because you work so hard to get in that position and what you get in. In the words of some song that I heard back in the day, I will never sell my soul. So I don't sell my soul. I don't care how much money you give me. You could give me, you know, $4 million. I will always love my melanated women, whomever they are. I will always give them props and listen to the things that they have to say. Uh, I love listening to the lamentations of the women. But I also, not only that, but I just love black people. I love black women. Um, you know, back in the day, I used to be down with Queen Latifah, UNITY. You know what I'm saying? And all of the positive black influential people that were out back then in the early 80s, the mid 90s. They ended up being millionaires, but at the same time, that money ended up shutting them up. Queen Latifah didn't have to voice her voice anymore. Her actions spoke louder than words. She was on a hit TV show called Living Single, and from Living Single, she ended up being on all these Revlon and beautiful cosmetic commercials. And that was our first time actually seeing a black woman on TV, and we fell for that, meaning that was all, we were like, that's Queen Latifah, and it spearheaded, and people were drooling all over. It was beautiful. And same with Will Smith, very influential actor. I learned a lot about him when YouTube first started out, though. His first movie that he did was kind of shady, and ever since then his views have been kind of weird. However, I mean, when I say weird, his son and his views have been different. And even Queen Latifah, not necessarily perfect. That's why I'm trying to explain to you. Once you reach that goal, once you reach that plateau of where you want it to be, you will be tested. The enemy will put something before you and say, will you sell your soul? We started becoming so close, I do believe, that there was a hidden language through there was and is an African hidden language through some of the various hip hop music, and and not only that, we're getting close. We're getting close. We're getting really close, and I pray that God brings us to a new level. I'm not going to try to divert from what I'm trying to say. I pray and hope that God tries to bring us to a new level in Him, to all of the Israelites that are out there, to all of the people that deem themselves being the chosen ones, to all the ones that know that they were in slavery for a long time. I hope and pray that God brings us to a new level where, you know, people that will try to deceive you, you won't be deceived so easily. And in fact, this is a great time to start spending time with your children and teaching them about the history the way you would like it to be taught. This is a good time to educate yourselves and try to come up with some great businesses and be an entrepreneur so that you can impact in your community. You can impact your community in a great, marvelous way. Do some research. Don't work just for money, because money, it can corrupt you at times if you work for it. But work for a principle, work for morals, work for your beliefs and what you believe in. And if you don't know what you believe in, then start doing some soul searching, baby, because you got to believe in something or you'll fall for anything. This is the unique thinker in the house. Peace and God bless you.